Following a sellout season last year of the critically acclaimed, now here's my French, and it's not very good, L'Amante Anglaise, The English Lover, returns to 45 Downstairs in Melbourne, based upon true events. It stars Rob Meldrum, who we spoke to last year, and my guest, who's online right now, Jillian Murray. Jillian, nice to have you with us. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you very much, Leigh. What a pleasure.
Nice to have you with us today. And a beautiful day in Melbourne too.
Oh, isn't it gorgeous? I just raced out of rehearsal. So in rehearsal, of course, you're always in a dark space and then blinded by this beautiful sunlight.
It's beautiful. It's about 24 degrees at the moment. Tomorrow, 34, they say.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah, that's a bit warm.
Rehearsal in the dark then.
And keep yourself cool.
Indeed.
Jillian, looking through your bio and all the things you've done, how on earth do you have time to sleep?
Oh, I do. There's always gaps in between, Leigh. As a working actor, one would love to say it's 24/7, but no, the reality is, the jobs, they come and they go, and when they come, I'd say 95% of the time it's terrific, and when they go, it feels ghastly, but thank God they seem to keep on coming, and this one is just a joy and a delight.
Well, let's go back a little bit in your history first of all and just say, look, you've appeared in Sullivan's, Prisoner, Cop Shop. You've had a couple
must mean I'm really old.
Well, I'm a little bit older than you, I think. Spotswood, Kelly, you're in Kelly. City Homicide, Last Man Standing, that was a good series. Stingers, and so it goes on, plus all the theatre credits you've got. Short and Sweet, and look, it goes on. Wolf was in there too. You've been in Safe House, Nice Girls, and you got the nomination there for the Greenwood Award too, didn't you?
Yes, that's right, yeah.
So you've been and that's only a section of what I've got here. It goes, I've got 3 pages, including Peter Pan.
Oh, well, that's going right back to very early days. And somewhere in there is, I attended drama school in London. I
yes,
did
you did.
a 1-year course over there, and I had just the best time doing, and this is going back, I think this is the 1980s, but I did a production of David Williamson's Travelling North there.
Oh, did you?
And I was the only Australian actor in the company.
Yeah.
But by that stage, because I'd been living in London for a while and had been at drama school where I was taught, speaking received pronunciation, I can always remember the director, Michael Blakemore, saying, listen to Jillian, she's the authentic Aussie. But I don't know how authentic I was, but I do remember Peter Vaughan, whom some of your listeners may remember from French Lieutenant's Woman, just a more recent series that I can't think of, who sadly just passed away just recently. But anyway, Peter Vaughan was playing my possible stepfather, and I remember in rehearsals he used to keep saying, travelling to Noosa. So I was able to correct Noosa to say it's actually Noosa, mate.
Good on you. Mate, yeah, there you are. You're the mate. I like the way you drop that in, mate. Because most Aussies don't speak like that, do we? We don't say the mate.
No, we don't. No, and often I think it's less now, of course. But you often used to hear the kind of the Chips Rafferty when we were.
That's right.
Trying to.
That's right.
When others were trying to be Australian.
I've got an interview at home I recorded with Chips back in 1969.
Oh, how fantastic!
Yeah, I've got that at home, and he was promoting one of his movies in those days, and it was recorded in a pub at Swan Hill, and the broad accent he's got, and it is an Aussie accent, you can hear it, all this sort of stuff, and it's a treasure to keep, it really is. Something you can't lose.
We don't hear those sorts of Australian voices very often now, do we?
No, we don't. No.
Yeah.
So let's move on to other things that you have done. I should tell our listeners, so you mentioned London, but you did a Bachelor of Arts here at Melbourne University, at Monash, didn't you?
I started it at Monash, and then I went to Melbourne.
Yeah. And you got a bed, so you're quite a qualified lady and all this. Why acting and not teaching?
That's a question my mother used to often ask, Leigh.
Yes.
Well, I was always interested in theatre. I was one of those kids who did a lot of drama, went to drama school, went to drama classes at St. Martin's, was in school plays, and then I was very keen to go to NIDA, but I followed my parents' wish and did a teaching diploma after my university studies. And then once I'd done all of that, I thought, right, now it's my turn to do exactly what I want.
Good on you.
At the time, Richard Werrett was alive, and he had actually taught at this school that I wanted to go to. So he was able to audition me in Australia, and then I got into this school in the UK. So
that's fantastic.
It took a while, but I got there.
You mentioned St Martin's Theatre. Gee, there's a lot of good people come out of St Martin's too.
Yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, wonderful. Let's talk about the play now. It's coming back to 45 downstairs. You were there 12 months ago. I spoke to Rob Meldrum about that. Yes, last year. So I thought it's time to get you on. This is an intriguing show. It's really a true story, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's based on a true event, and the true event is that a married woman, very conservative, ordinary woman, Parisian woman, in the 1960s, murdered her husband, then dismembered the body. In our play, the facts are slightly different. Claire Lunn, the character I play, has been married to Pierre Lunn, for 22 years, confesses to the murder of her deaf cousin, whom she kept house for, or the cousin kept house for them for 21 years. So she murders the cousin. Seemingly there's no motivation. She dismembers the body. She places the body parts onto the train. The body parts are all reconstructed in Paris except for the head. And the fascinating thing about this play is that, first of all, the husband is interviewed. You get one perspective. The wife is then interviewed, and seemingly interviewed by someone who perhaps is not an investigator, not a psychologist, but someone who is writing a book, almost Helen Garner-like.
Right.
And so it becomes about, what constitutes memory, what constitutes madness. And Helen actually came to see the show, Helen Garner, and we were thinking about her as we were rehearsing, and her response was almost perfect, what we wanted it to be. She said, lots of lovely things, but she was thunderstruck, she was transfixed, she was awestruck, she was electrified by the quality of the pauses between the answers and the questions. So, yes, if you like that kind of fascination of a seemingly ordinary person, but I guess as Helen said, I think it's in that lovely book of hers, Everywhere I Look. Now, I did write this down because I thought it was terrific. She said she has she's interested in the apparently ordinary people who, under life's unbearable pressure, burst through the very fine membrane that separates our daylight selves from the secret darkness that lives in every one of us.
Gee.
Gee, just making me think, maybe I better get back into that rehearsal room.
How do you go about dismembering the body?
I chop it up.
Yes, of course you do.
But what's interesting, that's the premise for the beginning of this fascinating interview that really becomes about the marriage of Pierre and Claire.
Yeah.
So it really is an hour-and-a-half discussion of two seemingly ordinary lives that have this cataclysmic event that shatter this 22-year relationship. That's really what it's about. It's about relationships.
Well, I hope that you can sleep at night after the rehearsals. Do you ever have nightmares of these things?
Sometimes. This is actually our fourth return season, believe it or not.
Is it really?
Yes, and I guess the reason that we keep coming back is that we keep selling out each time.
Yes,
and,
it's wonderful.
And we're just delighted to be back at 45. We've done it twice at La Mama, and this will be our second time at 45. So all thanks to everyone at 45 who's supporting us in doing this again?
Well, it's on from the 7th to the 19th of Feb. It's Tuesday to Saturday at 7:30 and Sunday at 5:45 downstairs. That's 45 Flinders Lane in Melbourne, top of the town there. And the booking phone number, 9662 9966. 9662 9966. My wife and I will be there on Wednesday night to see the show, so look forward to meeting you, Jillian, afterwards if we can.
Many thanks, Leigh. Look forward to it myself.
You take care, and all the best for opening night.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye to you.
Bye-bye.